Criss Angel. Magician rock star.
This is really rock star status.
Mind freak.
Oh, yeah!
I've made a lot of videos about Criss Angel and his antics in the mid-2000s reality show, Mind Freak. The reason I've made so many videos on this channel about him, aside from the fact that it's a popular show for me to cover, it's also really easy and funny. With the combination of Criss being in a constant state of scaring the hoes, and the fact that the show's a great time capsule for 2007, it's just the perfect storm. Now, if you don't know who Criss Angel is, he is arguably one of the most famous magicians or illusionists, and he's also just a walking hot topic. But recently I've been made aware of a newer Criss Angel show, one in 2016 called Tricked. I think I'd watched a clip on YouTube and I thought, okay, this is just a Mind Freak clone in 2016, but then I watched just a little bit more and realized that cannot be further from the truth. This show is just a different beast. It is so much worse than Mind Freak in all of the best ways. You will see why. Let's take a look. Now, once I saw the blood here, I thought it was going to be one of those, like, gore tricks that he does, and I thought, okay, maybe you guys don't want to see that, so I was going to skip it, but then I just ended up watching it, and I realized, I can't skip this. I have to talk about this. I guess trigger warning if you don't like seeing people get ripped in half. Skip to this time. Okay, I see this is one of those famous Criss Angel murder magic tricks. You know, the ones where everyone's having a good time and then Criss Angel just makes you pass away.
I'm Criss Angel. I performed over 3,000 shows at the Luxor in Las Vegas and still counting. But I'm getting out of Vegas and coming to your town with the Supernaturalists and the most obnoxious, in-your-face, revolutionary magic ever performed.
Alright, let's not pretend like everything he's done up until this point has not been obnoxious, in-your-face magic. Come on now. Okay, I do have to admit, there is nothing more in-your-face than Criss Angel ripping your bestie in half right in front of you. I'd even argue, a little obnoxious too.
Blowing the minds of my celebrity friends.
What is that?
Now, something that's not unique to Tricked or Mind Freak is the fact that Criss Angel just has a sixth sense for finding celebrities that will soon fall out of relevancy and then becoming best friends with them.
Blowing the minds of my celebrity friends.
Okay, except Gary Oldman. That does not help my case, but the rest of them, still valid.
No camera tricks, no stupid plots, and no bull. You won't believe your eyes.
I do have to commend this show for at least trying to stand out and be different than Mind Freak. It really has its own vibe, even if that vibe is mimicking that radio station from your hometown that only plays classic rock and never shuts up about it.
Real classic rock radio 95.7. We'll suck your cock.
And if you're still a skeptic, come see me live.
If you don't believe me, then come put some money in my pocket. That's basically what he's saying. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty fucking sick.
I'm here with my good friend Maestro from my show at the Luxor, and he's gonna be our special guest in this demonstration. Now, Maestro, you're a great artist.
Yeah.
I want you to take and draw my logo right over there.
Okay, easy.
So in this next segment, I'm not sure exactly what Criss is doing. I think he tricks his friend or crewmate or whoever this guy is into going up and writing his name down on this board, and then he's going to throw knives at him.
Here in the middle. Stop it, Criss.
I'm assuming they were okay with this because, oh, Criss, he's an expert at everything. He's a mind freak at everything he does. But then I saw that one knife just like kind of bounce off the board, and that doesn't give me any confidence in his knife throwing abilities. Holy shit, look at all those knife marks. I usually tend to think everything about this show is completely fake, but I think they've been going at this shit all day.
Is that your signature right there?
Yes, it is.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Is that yours right there?
Yes, it is. How did you do that? That's incredible.
Oh my god, how'd you do that? Are you new here? Is she new here? How did I do that? Get her the fuck out of here. How'd I do that? I'm Criss Angel Mind Freak.
I call this one ups and downs.
As we move on to the next segment, I'm really starting to get the gist of what this show actually is. It is basically Mind Freak meets Jackass. Especially with Criss Angel running up to the camera at the beginning like, I'm Criss Angel and this is Ups and Downs. He's basically just Hot Topic Johnny Knoxville.
Oh.
I would rather my elevator plummet 40 floors to my demise than Criss Angel just show up inside of mine. Not even in this way too, like if I was just on the elevator, the door open, he walks in, I would be spooked. Because I'm pretty sure if Criss Angel has watched or would watch any of my videos about him, he'd kick my ass. I'm pretty sure he's actually training to kick my ass. Have you seen his Instagram? He might be coming to kick my ass.
I need somebody that wants to be in my show on tour.
Next up, we've got a classic Criss Angel throwing a blanket over something, removing the blanket, and then it being something different. Magic ensues.
I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, go. On go, you're gonna pull the sheet off of me, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go! Right here!
Now! Holy fucking shit. I was supposed to be in those bushes. Oh god.
Right here! Yeah! Yeah!
He just keeps screaming at the top of that rooftop for like 2 hours until someone comes up and rescues him.
I'm still shaking. I don't know what just happened.
It's just mind-boggling. What a trick.
You know that was like take 7 of them having to repeatedly tell her, no, the show's called Tricked, we have to have you say Trick. You can't say Mind Freak. But what about, I thought he was on the show Mind Freak. Yeah, I know, those a few years ago, just, it's Tricked now. You know, Tricked with a D, it's all, just, please say Trick.
I call this one teleportation.
I have some thoughts. The dubstep, just the dubstep. I think the dubstep was even a little bit late for its time in 2016. They were off by about 4 years maybe. And I will say this does feel fitting for 2016 because it feels like an internet challenge video. You know what, it actually feels like a Zach King video or a Zach King Vine if you remember those. Where he comes up to the camera, says something, and then proceeds to do an After Effects trick. I will say Zach King never fucking spit water on my face, so he's got that going for him.
This one's called Chris Bob.
Fuck, I even want to know. No, I gotta fucking know.
There's so much stuff on the table. Wow.
So now we're at a nice restaurant, and I can't imagine Chris doing anything to fuck up this nice meal with his friends and family and anyone else around him.
No, sure. You know what we're gonna do? Wait a second. We're gonna try something.
Jesus Christ, I knew this would happen. What do you want, Criss Angel?
You're videotaping this, good. Videotape this. Pick me up even if you can and put my... Hey, try to balance me. Just do it slowly, okay? Because that's gonna... Just try to balance me. Bannister, you got my legs? I got you. All right, you guys gotta hold me here.
The manager just frantically running from the back. What are you guys doing? Put Criss Angel down. You're gonna fucking skewer him. He made us do it.
Wait, go to my feet, Banny. Take off my shoes. Take off my shoes. Really. Just take off my shoes. You're heavy. Yeah, it's good. Slowly, let go.
If there's one thing Criss Angel likes showing off more than his abs, it's his bare feet. I have seen way more than I care to of those fucking dogs.
Let go, everybody, let go. Slowly.
Imagine it's your first night working as a waiter at this establishment and you're just like, I don't know if I want to take part in the skewering of Criss Angel. I do want a good tip, it just feels weird.
Okay. Grab my legs and start to spinning. Walk this way. Start to spinning. Spinning.
Check, please. Well, that's the end of that, I guess. Criss Angel's just dead now. Imagine just getting dressed up to go out to this nice restaurant and then it just being completely ruined by Criss Angel. Well, don't worry, you don't have to deal with that thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Factor. That's right guys, Factor is back and here to help you save money and eat healthier with their delicious ready-made meals. With Factor, you can have a fresh chef-crafted meal on the table in just 2 minutes. That's like 10% of a Chris James video. That's dinner with no meal prep, no dishes, and no unhealthy fast food or takeout. I'm looking at you, Chris. Guilty. Factor's menu gives you plenty of different preference options like keto, calorie smart, vegan and vegetarian, and more than 27 meal options per week. That's more variety than I could eat in a week. Okay, Chris, sure. Okay, that's the second time you've called me out this ad. Factor sends these delicious meals right to your door, so you don't have to spend the time and stress of going to the grocery store. Which is great because I do not want to go there. Their meal plans range from 4 to 18 meals per week, and you can add or reduce the number depending on your own specific needs, or even skip a week if you need. So if Factor sounds like something you want to try out, use my link or go to go.factor75.com and use code POGCHRIS, JUN50 to get 50% off your first box. And once you click, my description will live update to count up the purchases. I do hope you guys try them out. They're honestly super good. Me and all my friends eat them. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring, and now back to the video.
I'm Chris.
So now as we move on to the next segment, apparently Criss Angel is not dead. He just likes to pretend that he's dead a lot, or being possessed. Remember that?
Conduit to the supernatural?
Or just a con?
I do want to prepare you though for the jump scare that is Criss Angel's t-shirt in this next segment. Thank God he's actually wearing one. I've realized that is a tough ask from Mr. Angel, but you'll see. Absolutely giving Darman a run for his fucking money with that deep V. I am pretty sure that is not even considered clothing at this point.
The thing that is weird to me is, what's the significance of the cockroach?
I used to eat cockroaches when I was a kid.
No.
I did.
You ate cockroaches? You know, cockroaches multiply, so if you ate a cockroach, you might have like, I don't know, like 1,000 in your body right now.
That's disgusting.
Okay, two things. One, Criss Angel adding an extra syllable to the word cockroach is very on brand. And second, I love how this woman is trying to get into a scaring the hose off with Criss Angel by like trying to say something weirder like, I used to eat cockroaches, because Chris is not having that. When it comes to scaring the hose, Chris will always come out on top, and he's about to prove that. Okay, see you guys later. Like that was it, there's no trick, he just sucks on their arm and leaves.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Criss Angel really outdid himself here because this is very reminiscent of that guitar string through his neck trick that he did in the first video. He just loves freaking people out. Another hard watch indeed. I love how his first thought was just, I'm gonna put it on your tits. Like, leave it to Criss Angel for letting his intrusive thoughts win every time.
Oh my, what are you doing?
You can really tell that in the 6 years since Mindfreak has been off the air, favor towards Criss Angel in the public eye has shifted a little bit. He doesn't have the complete immunity that he had before where like, he could do anything he wanted to people because they're like, oh, he's rich and famous and he's on TV and he has a six-pack and that's hot. And now they're like, oh, this is actually kind of weird, and I don't even know that you have a show on TV. I don't even have cable, if we're being honest.
It's gone.
Oh my God!
So I'm pretty sure the secret to this trick is the fact that he's got whatever he's going to be spitting out already in his mouth before he starts. That being said, I cannot imagine the 7th layer of hell that goldfish is living through being inside of Criss Angel's mouth for 30 seconds.
Here's your goldfish come to life.
Criss Angel Mindfreak is absolutely terrorizing this tattoo shop right now. I don't know what leverage he has over the owner, but it must be a lot, because at what point do you just say, look man, you're doing some weird shit, you gotta leave. Our next segment is a lot closer to Jackass. I know I mentioned that this show just feels like Jackass, but this is probably the closest it gets.
Legendary magician Harry Houdini claimed he could withstand any punch taken in the abdomen. An eager college student threw a punch to Houdini's stomach before he had a chance to prepare for the blow, causing his appendix to rupture. Houdini died a few days later on Halloween 1926.
I'm here with 285-pound, 2-time heavyweight champion Frank Mir.
It's pretty much just, hi, I'm Criss Angel, and this is just me getting the shit kicked out of me by a few people.
Frank, you ready ready to punch me in the stomach?
Basically, he's doing another Criss Angel classic, which is showing someone that died from a thing and then saying, I am simply built different and I'm going to attempt to do what you couldn't do. We last saw this when Criss Angel famously recreated the accident that killed his uncle and then just tried to see if he could survive it while being chained up in the trunk, might I add. Now he's going to give Harry Houdini a run for his money and try not to die after being punched by several fighters. Even though I wouldn't put it past Criss to die during a trick, that's just a thing he likes doing. This goes pretty well though, considering the fact that he has multiple fighters putting all of their might into his fucking abdomen. But now as we move on to the next trick, you guessed it, more fucking dubstep. Really? Like, you didn't even see a movie or anything? Now, to my surprise, we actually get a second instance of Criss Angel ruining the appetites of everyone inside of a restaurant. Hopefully no one dies this time. I think any more than 2 deaths per episode is a bit much if you ask me. I think he has to channel a lot of dark energy to be able to pull off this level of scaring the hoes. I think it's the same dark energy that he channeled when he murdered John Boy in that last episode, and every time he channels this dark energy, it takes 5 years off of his life. So now at the end of this segment, we get to see Chris's actual superpower, and the reason he's able to get away with all of these hijinks. Now, if you had to guess, out of anyone in the world who is going to show up next, I guarantee you, your guess is wrong.
Paris, look deep into my eyes. You're gonna feel a surge of energy.
Paris Jackson, daughter of Michael Jackson. If you don't know who Michael Jackson is, he's the guy from Scary Movie 3. And man, this one, I don't even think you can call it a trick, it's just kind of disturbing. Not like everything else we've seen hasn't already been disturbing, this just feels even weirder.
What do you see?
What was that?
People see different things.
What was that?
It's what you saw in me.
God damn it, is Criss gonna fucking die again? So now we're finally on to the last segment of the episode, which coincidentally also involves Paris Jackson.
You know, I asked you to come here because when we first met after you saw my show, you told me that you and your dad used to watch me on television and it used to trip you out.
That's right.
You know, you told me that you used to watch my television show when you were a kid, and what I appreciate the most about you is you didn't grow up to be a little sniveling weasel content snake that built their entire career off of making fun of my show. And that's why I brought you here today, thank you. So the reason Criss has brought Paris here today is to get a front row view of his latest and greatest levitation act. And by front row, I mean the 5th row for some reason. Although I have to admit, I could not imagine being in the front row and being that close to Criss Angel, so I get it.
It's something I think he would have really loved, huh?
Definitely. He would have stole that from you, I think.
I would have given it to him. So I'm gonna, jet.
Okay.
Fucking foot hit me in the face. Okay, yeah, so that looked impressive, but you know what? I don't buy it. Not one bit. And you know what, now that I say that, I remember something that Criss said earlier in the episode.
And if you're still a skeptic, come see me live.
Alright, so what now? I'm supposed to fly out to Las Vegas, stay in the Luxor Hotel and Casino, the one that Criss famously levitated over 15 years ago, and then see Mindfreak live in the 5th row just like Paris Jackson did, all to witness this trick firsthand? No. That'd be crazy. Because I'll be sitting in the front row. Now, unlike the last time that I committed to the bit, this time I will be doing much more in preparation. You see, as I got deeper into planning this trip, I was feeling more and more like a fraud. Sure, it's easy for me to sit here in my room and make silly little jokes about Criss Angel, but you know what he did? He decided one day, long ago, I'm going to become a magician, and I'm going to master the craft and be one of the most successful people to do so. Meanwhile, here I am, a nobody. But not for long, because I decided to master the art of illusion in just 1 month. Mainly because that's how long I had until the trip. Now you may be thinking, Chris, that's impossible. The technology simply doesn't exist, and you're not smart. And well, thank you for that. Normally I would agree, except this time I have a secret weapon on my side. A trick up my sleeve, if you will.
This kit won the best magic kits, the winner of the best magic kit. That's in all magic kits. It's the best. And I'm very proud of that.
That's right, I bought the Criss Angel Mind Freak Magic Kit. Brand new, still sealed in the box. Only $40. $400 value. Apparently, I think it says somewhere on there $400 value. Yeah, it says $400. It's not. It's quite cheap. So now with all of this and my trip to Vegas in just 1 month, there's only one thing left for me to do. I'm going to become Chris James Mind Freak.
Warning, the stunts and illusions performed on this program were designed and tested by Chris James, a highly trained professional. These demonstrations are extremely dangerous and should not be attempted by anyone, anywhere, at any time.
After my first Mind Freak video took off, my whole life changed. I quit my job, I didn't do much else actually. I really spent a lot of my time grinding in the studio, making sure I can post at least 1 video a month, or 6 if I overbook my sponsors. It's not easy work, but hey, someone's gotta make observational humor about shows that are worse than you remember. Right?
Ever since Chris started doing YouTube full time, he's gone crazy with buying unnecessary shit. You know what I saw on his coffee table the other day? Juggling balls. Fucking juggling balls.
This last year with Chris's channel taking off has been crazy. It's literally all he ever talks about. Literally all he ever talks about.
As I embark on this journey to master the art of illusion, many challenges face me. Like, am I ready to take on such a feat in such a small amount of time? Am I capable of even learning all of these tricks? What toll will this take on my body? But I know one thing's for certain. My friends and family have got my back.
It was one thing when he was just talking about shows that were worse than he remembers. But this, he's taken it too far.
He's making another one? How many Criss Angel videos is he gonna make? Jesus Christ.
Okay, at least my family has my back.
Magic Kit, Chris, really? Another waste of money. It's like the juggling balls.
You've been talking to Reese, haven't you? Okay, that little snake had no right to tell you about those. If I had known the juggling balls would have been this big of a fucking problem, I just wouldn't have bought them. But now with no one stepping in my way except everyone I love and care about, it's time for me to finally master the art of illusion and become Chris James, Mind Freak. So I've learned barely any magic at all. Turns out magic is really hard, so props to the Seaman for that. Basically, lots of magic comes down to just sleight of hand, which is not the easiest thing to learn, especially if it's me learning it. Now, I did record myself learning some of the tricks the other day. Beware, there is a bit of an audio issue. You might not even be able to notice it. Just try to ignore it. Okay, I may have undersold the severity of that audio issue. That audio really is worse than I remember. Oh my god. So basically my set's gonna come down to 3 main tricks. The 3-card Monty, some red ball trick, and a card trick that my buddy Jacob taught me last minute, and one last trick that I'm saving for a surprise. Now, the first trick that I learned is the 3-card Monty. I learned this from Chris himself on the internet, because part of why it took so long for me to learn anything was the fact that I'm not going to learn Magic from a pamphlet. But luckily, Chris has plenty of online tutorials, so that's where I found this trick. This one basically involves cutting up one card, taping part of it to another, and then hiding it under another card, and basically not that much sleight of hand at all. That's great. The second trick is the one that Jacob taught me, which is basically you make someone think that you tap it, boom. Is this your card? They're gonna say yes because it is their card, because you tricked him, because this is tricked up. And then the red ball trick, which this one is a rough one, and I don't think it's gonna get any better by the time I'm in Vegas. So that's my full entire set. Or is it? No, I already told you there's a surprise one. You'll see, Lee. Back to you, Chris. Now, even though I don't even have an ounce of confidence in my set, I'm still gonna bring everything involved to the Luxor so that I can technically say I perform magic in the Luxor Hotel and Casino. The same place that Criss Angel lived at for like a year. I don't know how long he was there. He was there for a while. Once I arrived to Vegas, the only thing on my mind was just getting my ass to the Luxor. And that wasn't hard at all, because no matter where you are in Vegas, you will always be able to find the Luxor because that light is bright. Cannot say the same for some of the lights going up the corner. That they needed to change a few bulbs on that. Maybe the light up top is just sucking energy from the rest of the building, I don't know. Now, when I actually arrived at the Luxor, the one thing I noticed that I didn't fucking get footage of, stupid. The doors could use some maintenance because they take forever to open. They're automatic doors. The automatic part they're working on. But the second thing I noticed was when I walked into the lobby, how fucking ginormous the place is. Props to Chris, even though he was on wires, it is much higher up than you think when you're actually standing in the building. I mainly felt the height when I was on the 22nd floor, which is where my room was, and then also this guy walking by just scared the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah, do it look scary down there?
If I had to like nail down the smell of this place, it would be your chain-smoking aunt's couch. It wasn't awful. I think I'm just not used to being in a building with hundreds of old people smoking inside of it. It really brought me back to my days as a kid, sitting in the smoking section of a TGI Fridays. Now, one of my biggest goals when staying here was to find different spots that have shown up in different Mind Freak episodes we've covered. This proved to be quite impossible because they have done a lot of work since, and everything is completely different inside. So I was not able to find much. I even tried to find the spot where the security guards gunned down Criss Angel in that first Mind Freak video. An event that is canon within the Chris James universe. Not real life though, because he's still alive. For now though, he dies a lot when he does magic. After trying to find all these spots and failing miserably, I finally took not the elevator up to my room, but the famous inclinator. Have you ever thought when riding an elevator, I wish this weren't going straight up, but going up at a 45-degree angle, and I wish it sounded like it was going to fucking explode every time I use it? Then if so, you should try out the inclinator at the Luxor Hotel and Casino. That thing was frightening. I dreaded every time I had to use it. But now once I got to my hotel room, it was just fine. It was a normal hotel room. I have no complaints. Except for the fucking ginormous crack under the bathroom door. Jesus Christ, a cat could slide underneath of that. But aside from that and the thickest flat screen TV I've seen in my life, it literally looks thicker than the shit you'd see on Pimp My Ride. But now the Mind Freak show wasn't until the next evening, so I decided to, after a long day of traveling, just relax. And relax I did, until I decided to get up and go get some ice for the hotel room. Hey, can you go get some ice for the hotel room? And you're like, yeah, and you walk down the hallway and you're like, oh, it's fucking Criss Angel, I forgot where the fucking Luxor. Hey, and he's like, hey, come on over here. And you're like, fuck. Thank God I escaped without a scratch. I couldn't risk it. I had a big day the next day. And by big day, I mean the whole fucking day was open. The show wasn't until 7 p.m., so I decided that's when I was going to do my magic act. Now, when I was planning all of this out, I quickly realized how maybe it would be really boring if it were just me performing magic in a hotel room, even if that hotel room is in the famous Luxor Hotel and Casino. I needed an audience, a good audience, one that wasn't just my friend Jacob helping me film. An audience worthy of seeing everything that I've worked so hard on for these last 2 days. But what in Vegas was I to do in this situation? Well, what anyone in my situation would do. Hire an Elvis impersonator to come up to the hotel room and watch me do magic. And that I did, but I have to admit I was quite nervous, mainly because I have not mastered these tricks nearly as much as I should have for a situation like this, but also because I was hiring an Elvis impersonator to come up to my hotel room, and I would have to explain all of this to him. Luckily for me, he was really cool about the whole thing. He understood. He said it wasn't the weirdest thing he's ever done, which I'm like, oh. I started off with the card trick that Jacob showed me. That trick, while simple, still had some sleight of hand involved, so it wasn't the smoothest. Yeah, you know what makes a good magic trick? Doing most of it out of sight under the table so the person you're doing magic for can't see any magic happening. Now, regardless of my execution, I would still say the trick was a success.
Cool.
Now, into my first official Mind Freak trick, the 3-card Monty. I'm pretty sure that's, I don't know if he invented it, but he showed me how to do it, so we're going to count it. This one was the easiest because it involved hardly any sleight of hand, and all of the magic came from a trip to Walgreens for scissors and tape.
To be honest, man, you're not that good.
I'll take it. Now with the last trick, I cannot say I blew anyone away with it. Arguably the trick with the most sleight of hand involved that I even tried to attempt, and it shows. That being the old turn a red ball into a cube trick, the one trick that I am the most dog shit and ass at, and another member of the Under the Table Magic Club. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's forget about that one, shall we? So now I perform my whole magic act, if you can call it that, in front of Elvis Presley at the Luxor Hotel and Casino. Fuck, that was an expensive bit. And while it felt great being able to do that, I still felt like I wasn't fully satisfied. I felt like I didn't really have that many options at this point, so I did what anyone in my position would do, and I just hired a second Elvis impersonator to come up, and I did everything again. Did the exact set, the 3-card Monty, Jacob's trick, another embarrassing attempt at turning the red ball into a cube. God, I really dropped the ball on that one. Fuck! Now, I don't know if you guys remember what I said earlier, and one last trick that I'm saving for a surprise. Yeah, the thing I said not 5 minutes ago. While my magic act so far has been quite lackluster, what I've got planned for my final act is something huge. I'm gonna attempt to levitate over the Luxor Hotel and Casino. It's 22nd floor. I'm gonna try and levitate in the fucking hotel room. This is my biggest and most dangerous trick yet. I'm really putting it all on the line here. If I fail at this, I fail at being Chris James Mind Freak, which I don't think I could take that if I can't even do this.
When I found out what Chris was planning to do, I couldn't believe it. He's always putting his life on the line for magic, but this takes it to a whole new level.
I have never seen Chris pull off a trick like this. Or any trick at all, for that matter. I've never seen him do magic once, but this time, he's gonna make it happen.
Now, while I kind of have the support of my friends and family on my side, I feel like I could do anything. I feel like I can actually do this. And do it I did. It wasn't the smoothest. My leg was shaking a little bit. I don't even think I did the goddamn trick right. Spoons is way better at doing that shit. He did it for the intro for our Mind Freak collab, and I sucked ass, and I did it in front of 2 Elvis impersonators. Fuck! But I did it. I levitated kind of over the Luxor Hotel and Casino's 22nd floor. I did it. I'm Chris James Mind Freak.
Okay.
So now there's only one thing left to do. The whole reason I came out here that you probably forgot because it was so long ago in the video. I got tickets to see Criss Angel's Mind Freak live in the very front and center seat, the closest you can get to Criss Angel. I was. Now, while my goal wasn't to record the show, I still wanted to get some kind of footage to show that I actually went and was where I said I was. So I did what anyone in my position would do, and I bought a spy watch. I bought a watch that records 2K video, and, well, the footage speaks for itself. It looks just about how you would imagine video from a fucking watch would look. Now, I do have to admit, the show was very entertaining. I recommend going to this if you are in Vegas and you are looking for a show. Odds are he's probably performing. He performs every fucking day, it looks like. And I know I make fun of Criss Angel a lot on this channel. Most of pretty much everything I've made fun of from Criss Angel has been from like 15 years ago when he was walking around on a Vicodin just terrorizing the people of Las Vegas. But I will say the Criss Angel that was on stage that night, the Criss Angel that we have now, is a very entertaining and charismatic guy. I enjoyed watching him. It was a good time, even though he could not go a second without making a sex joke about anyone.
From like Midwest or down south or something?
Down south? Yeah, I wish I was.
But then we got to the final trick, the reason I'm here. The big levitation stunt, which is actually the same trick that he did in the show. Thank God, that would have sucked if it wasn't. And I have to say, this trick was very cool. It was actually done really well. I don't know how he did it. Like, it was done in such a way where you can't tell if it was wires or what. It was done very well. Good on you, Criss Angel. You've made a fool of me once again. Criss Angel 1, Chris James 0. But yeah, the show was good, and even though they were trying to funnel people out through the gift shop, I didn't fucking break. I'm not weak, okay? Okay, that is actually not the case. I did buy a few items, one being this shirt that actually fits. If you guys remember from the Spoons collab, we were only able to get 2XL shirts online. That's all they had. So I jumped at the opportunity to get a shirt that fits, and this sick-ass fucking necklace. No clue where I put the necklaces from the original video. At least I got this, though. And this hat that's really tight, and you can't adjust it. It's just really tight. But yeah, guys, I don't know how long this video is going to be. It feels like it's already... My camera's overheated 3 times, so probably longer than I'm gonna enjoy editing. Fuck. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you don't normally like YouTube videos, if you could, just hit the button this once. I put a lot of work into this video, and if you normally do like videos, come on. What are you waiting for? I had a lot of fun making this. I know I've kind of hyped it up as my biggest video ever. Probably just my most expensive video ever. That's probably more accurate. But I do want to thank everyone involved. Thank you, Criss Angel, for putting on a good show. I appreciate that. Thank you to all my friends and family that helped the filming. Thank you to Jake fucking Mayer, the dude, the man who made that sick-ass Mindfreak intro. Go check out his channel below. He does what I do. He's funny. He's really funny. I like him. Thank you to Gabby and Spoons for jumping in and helping out with those Mindfreak consultant bits. Thank you to you guys for watching, especially if you watched up to this point. Holy cow. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring. Always love when Factor sponsors. Go check out my link below. Pog Chris JUN 50% off. And also, if you notice my shirt throughout the video, that's a little hint for Friday's video. Stay on the lookout for that. But with all of that out of the way, thank you all for watching. Thank you to everybody involved. I will see you next time. Goodbye.